Hello and welcome to second lecture in 13th chapter of our comprehensive course on AI, ML and DS. Now here we want to do about this visualization, and this is introductory chapter on visualization. As we have seen that we will take total 5 chapters on visualization, right? Now here, as usual, we are creating our synthetic data. So import pandas and import numpy. Without these two, practically nothing is possible. Create a list of 6 months and create the corresponding 6 months sales and create a data frame using a dictionary where the key of the dictionary is month, but that is this list, okay, and the value of the dictionary is sales, but again that is this list. Now you can see in earlier chapters we were doing by providing the list over here only, okay, but if you want to keep things very succinct while creating the data frame, then you can write from the beginning, keep the list at this point, and here you just, instead of providing entire list of months, that is this, you first assign it to one variable and write the name of that variable here. That is just a simpler way of writing, okay. So you get a data frame like this, month and sales. Now creating the figure or plot involves these steps, okay. First, of course, you need to import the matplotlib library. I will speak these steps before displaying the code, so that you understand that basic steps, once if are there in one's mind, then there is not much a big deal of plotting, okay, that is writing code for plotting. So first import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, that is the first thing. Create a figure using fig size argument. So as I spoke one line, I am exposing that line to the lower part, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, right? Now create the figure first. So plt dot figure, figure, and inside you use fig size parameter, small fig size, plt dot figure fig size, and then okay, so I'm exposing only that much part now. Pass a tuple with fig size, which gives the width and the height of the figure in pixel. Then next is specify the chart type. This step is important because if you want to plot bar chart, then you will write plt.bar. If you want to put a plot line chart, then you will write plt.plot, not line. Okay, remember that. If you want to plot scatter plot, then you will write plt.scatter. So first you have to write chart type. So here suppose I want to plot bar chart, so plt.bar. And in bracket you have to specify as the argument you want to put bar chart of what versus what. So that means what is your x variable. So my x variable is my data frames month. So that means the January, February, March, they will be on horizontal axis. And my y variable, so that is specified after a comma, that is this my data frames sales column, that is this column, right? Sales column, right side column. Okay, so that will, sales will come on y axis. And then I have to specify some more things, what color you want for your bar. So you can write red, blue, etc. So that is this line, plt. So specify the chart type, plt.bar. Now specify chart title, x label, y label. So plt.title, bar chart of sales versus month or something, whatever you want to write. So plt.title, plt.x label. But I said that on x axis, this first whatever you have specified that will go. So x label would be month. Then plt.y label. So on y axis, this whatever you have specified that would go. So plt.y label is equal to sales. And then finally show the plot. So that will be plt.show. So it's same steps that are going to be repeated always. So first import your pyplot library and create an alias plt, so that you don't have to write this whole thing. Otherwise, actually, how should you read this line? That it is matplotlib.pyplot.figure, matplotlib.pyplot.bar, matplotlib.pyplot.title, matplotlib.pyplot.xlabel, and matplotlib.pyplot.ylabel, and matplotlib.pyplot.show. I'm speaking 6 times because I want you to remember that once this plt becomes a reflex action, people even forget that they are using matplotlib library. But please remember that plt is just an alias. So whenever plt is written mentally, you should understand that this thing is written, right? Okay, fine. Now first figure will be created, then which type of chart. So what is the x-axis, what is y-axis, and which color you want, title, x label, y label, and show. So then when you write, it is clearly nice, simple but nice data, that January, February, March, April, May, June, and sales. Now you can see compared to my this data, this gives much clearer and faster comprehension. For example, if someone asks which month had the greatest sales and which month had the minimum sales, then from the table it is slightly difficult because you have to pass through each value and you may miss a higher or lower value like that. But on the graph, it is clear that this has highest cell and this has minimum cell. So clearly things are visible. Then whether the sales have increasing trend or decreasing trend, or it is a mixed trend. Now here you see a mixed trend because from here to here it increases, but then it decreases, again increases, but again decreases. Okay, so you should, if you are running the company, then you should try to look why this particular month gave us strong sale, these two, and why, what happened in January, and then you can try to remedy the cause so that even January also gives better sales like that. So that is, this explanation is what I have already given. Okay, now instead of doing by PLT dot figure, PLT dot name of the chart, for example, bar, PLT dot title, PLT dot X label, PLT dot Y label, etc., I can also do one another method with Matplotlib, that is called using first creating object named figure and axis. Okay, so create figure and axis object and then move further, or that means rest of the lines of the code will be not PLT dot something, but it will be AX axis dot something, except of course the last line always remains same, PLT dot show. Okay, showing the data frame, showing the plot, that always remains the same. So this is slightly more advanced method, and it is used for plotting many different kinds of subplots or multiple plots simultaneously using one code, right? So let us do that thing. That suppose I am using my same data frame, that is this data frame only. Okay, but again I think this is the same examples, but this time I am using line chart. Okay, so still I am not using this axis and everything. This should go down, then it would come down. Okay, still down. Yes. Okay, now it is proper. So I'm sorry, but we are not doing the figure and axis as yet. We will do later in the chapter. But we have plotted the bar plot of sales. Now using the same data, that is this data, someone says that show me the variation in sales using a line chart. So at that time also the steps remain same. First step, create the figure. Okay, so that means import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and then PLT.figure, inside use fig size, small letters, and then tuple with 8 or 10, right? Then specify chart type. So this time I will write PLT dot, if you write bar, you will get bar chart. So if you write PLT dot plot, then you will get the line chart. Remember, it is not PLT dot line. Now every library has some little bit of quirks, so you have to remember those things. Then PLT dot title equals line chart of monthly sales, something that type. PLT dot X label. So there on the X axis you are showing month, so month. PLT dot Y label, on the Y axis you are showing the sales, so sales. And then finally, if you want to show the grid, now with bar chart, okay, grid is not that much important. If you want to show, you can show. But if a line chart one can show the grid, so then PLT dot grid, and in bracket write true or false. If you want to show, write true. If you don't want to show, write false. And then show the plot, PLT dot plot. So this is the same data frame, and these are the steps. You can see that I am now even deleting this step because it is the same data frame. So you can see these are the steps and exactly same, but now code, create figure. So then PLT dot figure, then specify chart type. So then PLT dot plot. Inside what comes on x-axis, that is coming first, that column. Then what comes on y-axis, that column is second. What type of chart line you want. Then here you can specify some extra argument. One is of course color, that I want a blue line, but one is this line style. So when I use this hyphen symbol, then it will plot my usual lines. And one I can write marker. So marker I can write O, S, etc. O stands for oval, or that is circle as a marker. S stands for square box as a marker. So when I go from January to February, where that line joining January and February ends, there will be a oval or a dot will be there. So clearly one can see the changes in the month. In the line style, I can try many different things, right? And in the color also I can try many different things, but here I have chosen the simple options, right? So let us plot, and you can see this is the blue line chart of what it is, the of whatever is on y-axis versus whatever is on x-axis. So it is sales versus month, or it is monthly sales data. Okay, and that shows the trend more clearly compared to the bar chart. Bar chart is useful for showing the magnitude of sales, but how sales trend changes, that is better shown by line chart, right? So trend is shown by line chart. This marker is equal to O is written. Instead of that, I can write line some other symbol. Say marker is equal to S. So then square, this at present, these are the markers. This is a marker, this is a marker, this is a marker, this is a marker. So at present they are oval, but now if you see it again, then they will be squares, right? Similarly, this color is equal to blue is written. I can write R. So in that case, this would be red but square. I am keeping the original values. So O and remember it is not 0 but O and blue. Okay. Same thing I can change about the line style also. Instead of one hyphen, I can write two hyphens. So it would be a dotted line like this. Okay. And in line style, suppose you don't know what are the available line styles, then you can try experimenting because pandas give more informative error messages compared to basic Python. Okay. So if I use this line style, that means I want my these tools to be joined with star 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 like that asterisk. Then if I try it, then pandas will give me this kind of error. It has shown the created the figure. So that means the code executed up to this line plt.figure. This title was also created, x level, y level. No, just figure was created. That is a blank figure. And as soon as it came across this line style is equal to this, that created issue. But then what line styles are allowed? Then you can see that here it clearly says that asterisk is not valid value. But then what are a valid value? Then hyphen, double hyphen, hyphen dot, then colon, none, solid, dash, dash dot, dotted, etc. You can write. So verifying that means that I immediately came to know that what was my mistake. So I can write say dash dot and press Control Enter, and you can see dash dot are used to join the various ovals. Right. This is same thing. Another example, but this time the marker is S. Nothing is specified about the line style. Then it will take the default line style, that is simple hyphen or a continuous simple line, and color is red. Okay. Rest of the steps are common. First create figure plt.figure. In parenthesis specify the tuple showing the height and width of the figure. Then plt dot type of the plot. So here I will write plt dot plot because I want to write plot a line plot. Okay. Then x-axis data frame, x-axis pandas series, or that is column name, y-axis column name of the data frame, and what type of chart you want. That is what should be your marker, what should be your line style, etc. So if you don't specify anything, then it will give straight linear graph. Okay. So I'm coming back. I'm even one. You can specify this hyphen, and you can say this kind of graph is there, or you can just simply avoid specifying anything. Then you can see this kind of graph is there. Correct? Okay. Same. So not specifying line type, it will default to its basic line type. Right. Now here, for example, this is the different way of plotting. So I am clearing all outputs from earlier. Now this is a different way of plotting the graph, that is here. This introduction to matplotlib library using figure and axis objects. Earlier was the simplest case, and whenever one is beginning to learn plotting or matplotlib one is using for the first time, then these steps are very easy to remember. Create figure, create type of plot, then create x label, create y label, create title, and then show the graph. And everywhere the code is also very simple. Everywhere it uses a single word plt. Okay. Of course you have to import that plt first as by this statement. But this is the simplest method of plotting the graph. But this method is having a limitation that sometimes you want to plot multiple graphs by a single piece of code, or graph one beside another, etc. Then that is called subplots inside one plot. So at that time this method is not useful. At that time you have to use object orientation. So you will first create figure object and axis object in the very first line. Thereafter all the steps again remain same. That is first decide figure, the fig size, then decide the plot type, then decide the plot title, then decide the x-axis label, y-axis label, x label, y label. But instead of plt everywhere, you have to write ax, where ax is what? It is the axis object which you have created in the very first step. So you can see ax.plot, ax.set underscore title, ax.set underscore label. And if you forget, there is no need to worry. I have already told you this thing, that you just press dot and press tab. Okay. And you will see all the available options. Correct. So this is one new method of plotting. This is called creating figure object and axis object. And here, this is the dimension of figure. So this is like that plt.figure fig size. But with figure, we are also creating one ax object, and all further manipulation we are doing by ax object only, except the last line where we want to show the plot. So if you do that, you can get this kind of plot. Now here you may not realize the importance of it, because this is also very simple plot. Then why this complication? But the reason is that this method is much more powerful, and it can generate very complex plots with detailed annotations, multiple subplots inside one plot, and so on. So in next lecture, we will see one example which shows the full power of this object-oriented method with Python by creating figure and axis objects. Okay. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture.